The movie begins with a male prostitute leaving a married woman's house after pleasuring her the previous night. As he escapes since the woman's husband is home, he bumps into the housekeeper who pays him and thanks him for last night. At the gate, he's stopped by the security guard who also pays him and thanks him for last night. The gigolo drives off and stops at the train tracks when someone comes from behind and pushes his car into the train tracks, killing him. Later, we see a man named Deuce Bigalow. He lost his wife a year ago after she was eaten by sharks. Deuce is later invited by his former pimp TJ to Amsterdam, and Deuce accepts because he's wanted in the US for questioning after 3 blind swimmers disappear. Deuce meets TJ in Amsterdam. TJ is a pimp that specializes in gigolos. Business is bad for TJ because a serial killer is killing male prostitutes. TJ takes Deuce to a coffee shop where they meet German gigolo Heinz Hummer. Heinz is the best male gigolo and has even won the Best Male Gigolo award twice. Most people call him the gigolo with the most below. That evening, Heinz Hummer is going home and someone attacks him. Later, Deuce is going back to TJ's boat when he finds Heinz passed out and a woman in a leopard coat walking away whistling. He picked him up and took him to TJ's boat. TJ informs Deuce that Heinz hasn't passed out, he's dead. Deuce doesn't believe TJ and he tries to wake him up, but he doesn't. Deuce then suggests they call the police, but TJ stops him, saying that the police won't believe that they didn't kill him. They decide to toss his body in the canal. Before tossing Heinz's body, TJ decides to check if it is true that Heinz has the biggest and the juiciest male organ. While checking, tourists with cameras pass by and see what TJ was doing. They take pictures of him and call the police, but TJ escapes. Deuce is also arrested and questioned. When he is asked why TJ was seen looking at a dead man's private parts, he lies and says TJ is gay. The detective then asks if that is why TJ puts lipstick on all the victims he's killed. The detective suspects that TJ is the serial killer murdering male gigolos, but Deuce tells him that he saw a woman whistling while walking away from Heinz's body. The detective doesn't believe him. The following day, Deuce tracks down TJ at a chicken and waffles restaurant. TJ sees that he is a wanted man and freaks out more because the paper called him gay. He says it's better to be called a murderer because if you are, you'll get out of jail and become a famous rapper. But to be called a gay pimp, he'll become a laughingstock. Deuce tells TJ that he saw the killer and that the killer was a woman. TJ says that if the killer was a woman, then she must be one of the clients of the dead gigolos. So Deuce has to become a gigolo to act as bait for the gigolo killer. Deuce says no, but TJ begs him to. The first step was to find the dead gigolo's customers. To find them, they first went to the Men Whore Union. There they found the highest paid male gigolos from around the world. During the convention, the men are told that they'll be given rings to put around their private parts to track them. Deuce then stands up and tells the men that he saw the killer and that it's a woman. He told them that they need to work together. If not, any of them could be next. He's thrown out. Next, Deuce goes to a restaurant where he meets Antoine. Antoine gives him a list of all the clients that went out with the dead gigolos. Antoine then gives him tips on how to please a woman, but while he's doing that, Antoine chokes on food. Deuce thinks that Antoine is teaching him when he's actually asking for help. TJ, who is also at the restaurant with a disguise, notices Antoine choking and jumps to help him. Unfortunately, someone photographs him as he inserts his hands in Antoine's pants to get the list. His photograph is printed in the newspaper again, making him look guilty and gay again. The next day, Deuce and TJ go to Marlene's home. She went out with one of the dead gigolos. Their plan is for Deuce to distract Marlene as TJ looks for evidence of lipstick and the leopard print coat. Marlene opens the door and Deuce is shocked at how big she is. TJ enters the house through the window and starts looking for evidence. He finds lipsticks and takes them. Since Marlene never had children, she wants Deuce to dress up and act like a baby. In the bathroom, TJ gets bitten in his privates by Marlene's cat. Deuce takes the lipsticks they got in Marlene's house to Detective Gaspar. The detective tells Deuce that those are the wrong lipsticks because the one the killer used is a very rare one. Shimmer Lavender number 66, discontinued in 1984. Deuce also gives him the list, but he throws it in the trash. The detective is only interested in TJ because he's convinced that TJ is the killer. When the detective leaves, Deuce sees his niece bringing him lunch. When he sneezes, his niece slaps herself and drops her items. Deuce helps her to pick up the items and asks why she slapped herself. She says that she has obsessive-compulsive disorder. Deuce introduces himself and the girl says her name is Eva and she has 130 weird habits that got her kicked out of school. Deuce and Eva go to the aquarium and Deuce offers to drop her off at her workplace, but she refuses because her job is embarrassing. Deuce then bumps into a small gathering of male gigolos who make fun of him by calling him Deuce Mr. Small below. Next, Deuce goes on a date with a woman who had a hole in her throat. During dinner, they talked and Deuce realized that she's not the killer. Next, Rodrigo, another gigolo, is killed with poison when he goes for his ass hair bleaching. All the other gigolos are now afraid of working since more gigolos are dying. The following day, Deuce goes on a date with a woman with a penis for a nose. They dance and the woman feels like sneezing. When she sneezes, G's comes out of her nose. TJ checks the woman's purse and doesn't find a lipstick, so they conclude that she's not the killer. The following day, Deuce goes on a date with Eva, and they have an amazing time. Deuce finds out that Eva works in a porn set. He thought she's an actor, but turns out she's a painter. Deuce goes on several other dates with different weird women, but turns out none of them is the killer. Deuce later approaches TJ and tells him that the girl with the giant ears overheard some gigolos talking about some photos in the Man-Whore Society. So they go there. Coincidentally, the killer is also there and kills another gigolo by closing the tanning bed and setting the heat to maximum, which made him burn to death. Deuce and TJ are snooping around when they hear the gigolos approaching. They hide on the roof, but TJ farts. They are found and the two run. TJ goes and hides in the same tanning bed that Enzo the gigolo was killed in. They catch him and he's arrested for the murders even though he's innocent. Deuce goes to Eva's house, and while Eva is in the shower, he discovers the leopard print coat, a wig, and the lipstick in the closet. He also hears the same whistling he heard that day in the alley. He then suspects that Eva is the killer. Eva seduces Deuce and goes to wait for him on the bed, but Deuce runs away and goes to Eva's uncle, Detective Gaspar, to report Eva. Gaspar tells Deuce that he knew sooner or later someone will find out the truth. He starts to draw his gun, but stops when Deuce says that Eva is the killer. He explains everything to the detective Gaspar, and the detective leaves to arrest Eva. Meanwhile, at home, Eva discovers Gaspar's plan to kill all gigolos at the Man-Whore Awards. Her uncle finds her and confesses that he's the gigolo serial killer, and he plans on blowing up the awards and kill all the gigolos. He also plans on pinning everything on Deuce. He bumps into Deuce at the door and tells him that Eva is at the awards and that they should go together. Eva follows Deuce and Gaspar and tells Deuce that her uncle is the killer. Deuce asks Gaspar what the gigolos did to him, and Gaspar, now holding Deuce at gunpoint, reveals that all he ever wanted was to be a gigolo, but was humiliated when the class used his fiancée to demonstrate sexual positions. He was very angry when he found out that he accidentally injured himself with a penis pump. Deuce swerves the car and they crash. Gaspar gets out and snatches a bicycle from someone and goes to the Gigolo Awards. Deuce and Eva arrive. Eva goes to ask for help, while Deuce goes on stage to warn everyone to evacuate the building because there's a bomb on the stage. Everyone leaves and Deuce and Gaspar start sword fighting. Deuce tells Gaspar that he doesn't need a male organ to please a woman. Women just need someone who cares about them. This speech inspires all the gigolos to come clean and confess to adding items like bananas and cucumbers to make them look bigger. The women distract Gaspar, and Deuce hits him on the head. The woman with the male organ slips and it enters the neck hole of the other woman. Everyone is disgusted. The gigolos thank Deuce and give him the Golden Boner Award for his bravery. Deuce and Eva kiss, and during the kiss, Deuce accidentally sets off the bomb, but no one is injured. Deuce and Eva pick up a newly freed TJ who tells them that he is entering a brand new market: gay gigolos. The movie ends with the postscript revealing that TJ became a rapper. He made no records and was shot several times. Deuce and Eva got married and are expecting twin gigolos. Gaspar became a gigolo in prison against his will. Svetlana married a man with a vagina for a face, and Kate's prosthetic leg is turned into a bong by an old Dutch woman. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.